Okay, still got some more of that bit of wrestling action coming up. What did I tell you about Tuesday down at the Louisville Gardens? I said Southern Tag title, no time, no disqualification, no stopping the match, partner.
No time limit, no disqualification, baby. We are the champions no matter what you say. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, we still have the Southern Heavyweight Champions, Stan Lane, Steve Kern. We're going to drop you just like we dropped your old fat daddy, baby, right there on live TV.
Well, they will remember that, too, and they'll certainly be interested in that no time, no disqualification match. Another going to be an interesting and will be a bout that'll have Randy Savage and handsome Jimmy Valiant going against Adrian Street and Eddie Gilbert, and of course T.H. Hart and Miss Linda will be right there too.
A victory's already in our purse, Lance. It's already in our purse.
Not yet.
Oh, I've already beaten the guy twice.
Oh.
And if Randy Savage is what you Americans call a macho man, heaven help the rest of you.
Well, okay, that's one opinion about it, Eddie.
You know, Lance, the Army set goals, and the goals were to eliminate the dirt and filth from professional wrestling in this area. Now, we're taking on two cadets. I will call them cadets, space cadets, Valiant and Savage in Louisville, and I can't think of a better partner and a better man than Adrian Street to have as my partner to start eliminating people in Louisville.
Well, you're going to find that they may be space cadets. They're rough and tough as anybody that walks down the street. Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens is where it all takes place, and we got a whale of a bunch of matches in there. Those are just two. Big Iron Mike Sharp will be right there. All of it is taking place on Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens.
The more things cost, the better they are. Randy Savage up on the top rope. He drops down with the upper arm. And he got to be in Eddie Gilbert's face. He knew right there he had him the 3 count, and it's all over. The win for Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo. 5:42 the time on it.
5 minutes, 42 seconds, and the Poffos get it together with Savage, along with the acrobatics of Lanny Poffo, comes flying off that rope, and he finished it off. When he got him, I knew that that was it right then and there. I thought a little earlier that maybe oh, look at this, push-up.
I know Bryant didn't lose the farm, but I told him the Army does not handle losers. We don't allow losers in our Army, and he's going to be dealt with just like this. I want you to just hang on just a second, too, because I also have a big surprise for you and the rest of these people back here.
Oh, marvelous. Here comes another This Is Your Life Dave Brown right now with General Eddie Hot Stuff Gilbert. I'll tell you, while Bryant is getting out of the ring, we're going to move over into the interview area, so we've got more room to get out and run. So we're going to slip over here because Bryant is getting, Gilbert, Eddie Gilbert, getting ready to spring one of his surprises on us out here. So, as far as the General and his coaching went with Big Lou and Jerry Bryant, they were unsuccessful going against the very polished team of Lanny Poffo and his brother Randy, the Macho Man Savage. So, that victory goes to him in, what, 5 minutes? A little better than 5 minutes?
5:42.
5:42. Rack one up for the Poffos. Lanny and Randy ended up victorious in that one. We've got a lot of action coming up today. We're going to be seeing the said same General Eddie Hot Stuff Gilbert in a tag match against, what is this?
Never got a Christmas gift this big before, have you?
No.
You can always say Eddie Gilbert brought you and these people in this area this gift today.
This is a gift from the General here today, huh?
Look at this.
What in the world have you got there?
Look at my troops here, Mr. Wrestling, Mike Sharp. Aren't they great people to bring us out here? These people are going to love this, Lance. You're going to love it. Dave, you're going to love it, too.
How come I really don't feel like I'm going to love it, Eddie?
Look at this. You know what? Later on, Lance, I will open this up and show you and these people what's inside.
You mean all of this? I'm waiting around for you. You bring a big box out here with a padlock.
Uh-oh. He's in there. Hey.
It seems to me I've heard this tune before. There is somebody inside of there, and you're not going to open it up right now.
I'm not going to tell you right now. Let it be a big surprise. I got your curiosity up, haven't I?
Oh, yeah, you really do.
Back later, Lane. Take care of it for me now.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry, I'll have an eye on it. Well, there's the most recent present from Hot Stuff, the General. We're going to take time out. Look out, Dave. It may come undone any minute. We'll be back in just a moment. Tuesday night right there in the Louisville Gardens. What I'm telling you is you're going to be seeing for the first time in the Gardens a $20,000 Tag Battle Royal. More about that in a second. You'll also see a whole slew of single tag matches coming up in there. One of them will be the Rock and Roll Express against Troy Graham's intern.
That don't mean nothing, baby. Rock and Roll Express, we're going to go through you like a dose of sauce through a Wonder Woman, baby. You understand what I'm saying? $20,000, I'd spit in my own mammy's face, baby. Louisville Wave Country, get ready because the roof is going to explode, baby, because the Rock and Roll Express, you're not going to last 5 minutes with us.
You can see what that 20,000 is going to do to all the teams. One of them that you'll be seeing right there going against the Southern Tag Champs, the fabulous ones, will be Eddie Gilbert and Adrian Street looking for the big money.
That's right. Adrian Street and myself in Louisville, and plus $20,000 battle royal. But before that, Randy Savage, Lanny Poffo, we just got started with you last week. Now, in this night of matches, can you imagine? Can you see the Army there? A whole Army I've got. I got Lieutenant Frazier, Private Bryant together. I got Mr. Wrestling, the Phantom. How can I go wrong? How can the Army go wrong? I know that the Army is going to walk out with $20,000, and the winner's that battle royal.
There's only going to be one team winning Tuesday night.
Wake up to a new day.
We're standing here looking at Eddie Gilbert's present to all of us collectively. It's a big box. It's just a big box with a padlock on it. There obviously is something inside of it. And here he is, the king, right out here with me.
Lance, is this, for some reason, is this sort of like deja vu? Does this bring back any memories at all?
All of a sudden, I had the feeling that I've been through this before.
Yeah, I have a similar feeling that we've been through this before, too. You know, Lance, you mentioned this book once before. Eddie Gilbert, I don't know if he thinks the fans have a short memory, or I don't know what his problem is, but, you know, back a few years back in my career, if you can get a shot of this, I had a very similar, you know, a very similar situation when we had a General King, right?
That's good. Okay.
I had Lawler's Army.
Right here. Now this is a couple of the color pictures that you mind if I plug the book there of it?
Well,
this absolutely has got to be a must for every wrestling fan. It's a book about Jerry called The Crowning of a King. And these are a couple of the pictures. It is a magnificent pictorial journal of wrestling. Okay, let's get back to what we were talking about.
I didn't come out.
I understand.
I didn't come
but
out.
It really is. I recommend it highly.
Okay, thank you. I didn't come out to, let me have this, Lance. I didn't come out to plug the book. I just came out to kind of refresh a lot of people's memory. Eddie Gilbert, you know, he comes out here and he says he can't stand me. He comes out here, he says he's going to put me out of wrestling. But then he's trying to, I don't know if he's trying to relive my life or my career. Instead of being against me, this guy ought to be the president of my fan club. He's trying to do everything that I'm doing here.
I vote for that.
He wants to be just like me. It's obvious. Now, do you remember a few years back when I brought out a box and I had a very strange wrestler called Dr. Frank in it?
Oh, yeah. Remember that, Dave? Huh?
Well, obviously, Eddie Gilbert remembers it, too. Now, he's got some goof dressed up in some kind of outfit inside that box, and I'm sure we'll see. Is it got a lock on it?
No, it's got a lock on it, Jerry. Yeah, I wanted him to open it a minute ago. He said, no, later on. I got your curiosity now.
Well, all I can say is, you know, I don't know what Eddie Gilbert's problem is, if he's suffering an identity crisis or what, but before this is over, I'm going to make Eddie Gilbert dislike me so much that he won't want to be like me. I don't know what your problem is, Gilbert, but before I'm through with you, punk, you're going to change your tune. We're going to get rid of his army. We're going to get rid of whatever it is he's got in this box, and we're going to get rid of Eddie Gilbert if we have to.
Okay, hey, I appreciate you bringing that out, Jerry, because it is absolutely true. It is the Jerry Lawler story reincarnated when Jerry had Lawler's Army. Remember that, Dave? Okay, what do you say we get up and ready for some action in here?
Ring here and get underway with this next match. Here come the Batten twins stepping up into the ring right now. As soon as their opponents arrive. All right, one of them you saw a moment ago as they were bringing out here that Eddie Gilbert sent out, that big box. This match is going to be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Introducing from Quebec, Chief Joe Lightfoot and his partner from parts unknown, Mr. Wrestling. Their total weight 446 pounds. Going against them at a total of 454 pounds. From Charleston, West Virginia, Mark and Brad Batten. This match will be one fall, 10-minute time limit. Your referee is Jerry Calhoun.
Sort of be a dandy of a match, too. Lightfoot starting out. And And I believe he's starting out against Mark. Woohoo! Look at him go to town, Dave.
Joe Lightfoot over to the corner, makes the tag. There's Tommy. Oh, boy, he nailed him. Mark Brad, that is Mark, I believe. Joe Lightfoot. Oh, he nails him again with that forearm. Drops down again. Got that Tommy Hawk on his tight. Mr. Wrestling in again. Mr. Wrestling in with a knee lift. There's the upper arm.
The identical twins, Mark and Brad Batten. Super athletes. These guys were excellent high school athletes, fine college athletes. They played against each other in college, as a matter of fact. And now they're teaming as a very, very active tag team.
Give away size most of the time when they step in against opponents, and that hurts them a bit. But they are terrific athletes. Mr. Wrestling back in.
Ooh. He caught him with a forearm uppercut, a dandy from Mr. Wrestling, and again, there's a tag. Brad really ripped by Lightfoot while, look at this, Mr. Wrestling holding him, and Lightfoot firing away at him.
The Batten twins just haven't been able to get it going. As Mr. Wrestling and Joe Lightfoot have just kept the action. They have set the tempo of the match all the way through.
There's a little help from the fans, Dave. They're trying to get Mark and Brad to get themselves back. Whoa! Batten got out of the way. 1, 2, 3, but got it. Well, they didn't get much going, but, brother, when they did, oh, boy.
They got the win, and it was a mistake. They capitalized on a mistake. You got to do that if you're going to win wrestling matches. Here's what happened. Lightfoot went to the air for a drop kick, and, well, you can see Mr. Wrestling is not happy at all with his partner.
He's upset. Tommy had been holding the Batten, and Lightfoot nailing him during the match. On the last one, here comes Eddie Gilbert. And now the Gilberts, or rather Eddie and Mr. Wrestling, attack Joe Lightfoot. The bout is over with.
Eddie Gilbert, boy, jumped in here and just started.
Oh! Lightfoot got out of the way. And Eddie drop kicked Mr. Wrestling. And look at the Indian go.
Joe Lightfoot still up there saying, come on back. Mr. Wrestling and Eddie Gilbert. Boy, Mr. Wrestling has got to be wondering.
The whole world's against him.
Well, he got up today. He's been drop kicked twice, both by people who were his partner or trying to help.
Yeah. Joe Lightfoot came out of it in great shape as he really cut loose in there. So, Mr. Wrestling and Joe Lightfoot end up losing the fall as the Batten twins become victorious in there. And following it, when both of them jumped Joe Lightfoot, it then was Lightfoot who was able to get out of it thanks to a mistake that was made as Eddie Gilbert was drop-kicking Mr. Wrestling. I've been keeping my eye on the big box over here, Dave, and every now and then you'll see the door bang, bang, it'll go in there. Something's in there. We'll be telling you more about that, I am sure, a little bit later. That will not stay at rest the rest of this program. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the time everybody's been waiting for.
Is this it?
This is it.
You're going to finally open the box up. Hot Stuff Gilbert. The General. Uh-oh, now. And here it is. What is inside of that son of a gun?
That's the Phantom, and he'll be at all the arenas, and everybody's going to get to see him.
Oh, boy. Where did you ever get such an original idea, General? Okay, Ed. Dave, let's go.
Okay, expiration of time match coming up here. Introducing at a total weight of 686 pounds. From Philadelphia, Playboy Frazier and his partner from Lexington, Tennessee, Hot Stuff, the General, Eddie Gilbert. Going against him at a total of 468 pounds. From St. John's, New Brunswick, Canada, Lanny Poffo. And from Memphis, Tennessee, at 234 pounds, the King, Jerry Lawler. This match to the expiration of time. Referee Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, we're waiting for the bell right now. Starting out, I don't know who's going to be starting as of yet.
Looks like it's going to be Eddie Gilbert starting against Lanny Poffo. And the General finds himself flying across the ring as Lanny Poffo grabbed him. T.H. Hart also is down here at ringside. Missed him on the introductions. He's in the corner of Gilbert, the General, and Playboy Frazier. Not a lot of time for this one. Time tends to get away from us sometimes on championship wrestling.
Yes, it does, Dave. There's a tag on the King. Oh, boy, Gilbert and Lawler. Gilbert hopping out of the way. There's a tag, and here comes big Playboy Frazier to face Lawler.
Frazier with a fresh haircut. King has the crowd behind him. They wind it down. Got about a minute left in the time limit as time is really rolling here. Oh, Frazier picks Lawler up. He picked him up by the throat and just threw him down.
Playboy's typical tactics. Uh-oh, Lawler got caught from behind by Gilbert. Frazier caught up with him that time. Lawler was staying away from him. Big clothesline. Tag on Hot Stuff.
Lawler with the boot and then that right hand. And the suplex. Boy, he literally had his feet in the lights that time.
Yeah.
Down to two is all he can get. Thought maybe he had him there. Lawler from out on the apron.
Our time, Dave, my boy, is just about up.
He just drove his face into the mat. And a cover by the King. 1, 2, but again, Gilbert able to break out of it at the 2 count. Oh, Lawler misses with the right hand. Gilbert does not miss. Reverse neck breaker by Eddie Gilbert. And a cover. 1, 2. King breaks it at the 2 count.
Eddie with time running out. Whoa, he bulldogged him.
Lawler and Gilbert really going at each other. Count is 1, 2 on the King, but he breaks it at the 2 count. Left shoulder comes up off the mat.
And that's all he got up. Boy, he was almost out of it right there, Dave.
Frazier in, sits down on him. Counts 1, 2. Can he break? Ooh, he did. I don't know how he did it. But he rolled big 420-pound Plowboy Frazier off of him. Frazier slams him. This time he misses. Frazier rolling for the tag in the corner. Lawler back on his feet. Gilbert is there. Into the turnbuckles. Time has expired.
Time's up, Jerry. Yeah. Jerry Calhoun trying to get it stopped in there as the time is up. We're going to have to take time out right here. We'll be back in just one moment. Okay, Tuesday night right down there in the Gardens, friends, you were going to see for the very first time a $20,000 Battle Royal. Take a look at it. A big trophy and $20,000 in cash to the winning tag team. Now, there will be 6 tag matches before that. One of the teams you'll be seeing will be the Rock and Roll Express that will be in town for this big Battle Royal. And another team that you'll be seeing will be the Popo-Mania. Savage and Popo against Gilbert and Street.
Yeah, we got a date. Don't be late. Yeah, $20,000. I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to go to the motel room, yeah, strip naked on the bed, point the money toward an electric fan, and have the money blow all over me. How's that?
All right, you got to win it first. It's going to be a battle. Here's a team we're glad to see in action, too, and they'll be there for the $20,000. It'll be Stan and Steve.
Oh, you bet your life, Lance. We'll be there, you know. This past week, I couldn't wrestle. I was on crutches, but they're all behind me now. I hope I never have to see them again, lean my body on them. We're talking 20,000 big ones, Lance. A lot of green, a lot of mean green. It goes in the back pocket. And Steve and I plan on putting it right there in the bank account for us. Before we get there, though, we got to face those wild hogs.
Right.
Now, I don't know anything about these guys. I hear they're pretty big and they're tough guys. They must ride a Harleys or something. Either they're big and fat. But Steve and I are ready. Big and fat, okay. Whatever you say, pal. We're ready for the hogs, and we're also ready for $20,000. It's so sweet. You know, that's what it's all based about, Lance, is that big green. It makes the world go round, and we're coming to Louisville to get it. You be there.
Tuesday night it'll happen.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Boy, I had that good action going right in there today, Dave, with the King and Lanny Poffo going against Eddie Gilbert and Playboy Frazier. Good.
Didn't know if we were going to get that one stopped or not. Finally got him out of here, though.
How about the card today?
All right, Lanny Poffo was in the opening match with his brother, Randy Savage, today, going against Jerry Bryan and Big Lou Winston. Bryan and Big Lou, a couple of battlers, they had Eddie Gilbert, General Gilbert, in their corner. That makes them a more formidable tag team. That's an extra element over in the corner when Gilbert is there. Savage and Poffo did win the match, though. They won it in 5 minutes, 42 seconds. Then it was Mr. Wrestling and Chief Joe Lightfoot teaming up against the Batten twins, Mark and Brad. And in this one, to tell you the truth, Mr. Wrestling and Chief Joe Lightfoot just pretty well had dominated the match, but then a mistake occurred. Now, Mr. Wrestling holding one of the Battens, Lightfoot goes to the ropes. He comes back, and watch what happens. Batten ducks out of the way, and Lightfoot drop kicks his partner, Mr. Wrestling, knocked him through the ropes down to the floor. He's out of it, so Batten pins him. His brother helps hold him down, and the count of 3. So the Batten twins capitalize on the mistake, and in doing that, they get the win in the match. Good heads-up wrestling by the Batten twins. See the mistake, capitalize it before your opponent can recover. They did that, and the Battens, Mark and Brad, win the match in 2.5 minutes. Then it was the Terminators going against David Haskins and Ken Raver. Terminators favorites coming into the match, and Crow and Rigg, the Terminators, did win it in just under 4 minutes. The exotic Adrian Street came into the ring.